Hey, what's up, team? Michael J here, founder of Ascension AI, where we specialize in creating text-based agents for online businesses in the form of online chatbots. Now, I'm quite very excited actually to be making this video. I've made a few of these, and to simplify it, this is a basic chatbot. As you can probably see on the screen, we'll get to that. I wanted something cooler on the screen before I started this, to be honest. Hold on. How about that? So just before I was making this, I went on a bit of a mental tangent and wondered if AI was considered a robot. Robotics and artificial intelligence are two terms that are often confused and sometimes not distinguished, but they actually refer to different technologies. Artificial intelligence is a discipline that focuses on enabling machines to develop the same intellectual capabilities as humans. And further down here is an AI robot. So basically what this is robotics involve building robots physical, whereas AI involves programming intelligence. Now that's got nothing to do with this video whatsoever, but I came up with a bit of a documentation on the first screen. I didn't want that to be kind of the format. But anyway, an AI is not considered a robot. An AI is the brain, robot is the body. But that also kind of gets you thinking, like, what is a robot with a brain? Anyway, this site here, Agentive Hub, is the site that I've made a few chatbots on. I find it very easy, very simple. There are many other platforms you can use: Relevance AI, Make.com, Zapier, as well as Agentive. I like Agentive. It's simple, it's straightforward, it's easy to use, and it's very widely renowned for its quality. Now, before we make this chatbot, there are a few things that we do need. Let's take into consideration a business owner. You are a business owner and you're wanting to make this for yourself. There are a few side steps that you're going to need to take. Real easy to follow, okay, real easy to follow, and I'll explain them as we go. And if you're an AI automation agency owner like myself and you're creating these chatbots for other businesses, just follow as is, but please take note that if you're making these for a business, there are some things, side steps, that you need their help with. Okay. Now, there's three key component points to a chatbot, an agent or a chatbot. Two different things, by the way. A chatbot requires prompting, it requires a knowledge base, and it requires tools. For a basic chatbot, the ones that we're creating today, we're only focusing on the first two, prompting and the chatbot. Both very important. In no particular order, we're going to start with the knowledge base. Now, the knowledge base is a very key component to the chatbots. The knowledge base is the information that it will refer from to provide information to the user's questions or queries, or that's how it will respond to the user. We are doing a gym. I've been in the fitness industry for around 10 years, so this is kind of the bread and butter. Simply put, all that I've got in here from ChatGPT and all I requested was how it started, what the vision is, where they are, what the opening times are, the class schedule, when staff is going to be there, membership options, and personal training options. Right, I've kept it super simple. For your business as a business owner, you may want the same, maybe some extra things depending on what kind of industry you're in. And this is one of those things for my automation agency owners. If you're creating this for another business, these are the things that you're going to need from them. Now, this can be uploaded in the form of a PDF, a normal doc. It could be even done as a website URL. If you have a website for your business, you can upload that. That I will also show you. We will definitely come back to this. And key point number 2 is the prompt. Now, this is the level of persona that you are giving the chatbot. This I also did get from ChatGPT with a little bit of assistance from the way I prompt, or I've been taught to prompt. It's got things like a role, a task, the description, any specifics you want, context and example responses. Now just note these emojis are from ChatGPT. I wouldn't usually put them in. And notes, just some extra things that you want in the end that you need to let them know. So in this case, keeping it real brief, we'll get into this a bit more later. But you are a friendly and knowledgeable support chatbot for Functional Force, a functional fitness gym. Your role is to assist website visitors by answering frequently asked questions about the gym, such as class times, membership options, location, and personal training services. You're here to provide quick, clear, and helpful responses that make it easy for users to find what they're looking for. Okay, that's its role, that's what it knows, that's what it's going to do. Task, keep it brief, because this is a simple one. It is very simple. As these start getting bigger and broader, you're going to need to provide a bit more depth and information into these sections. But a lot of it will kind of follow the same formats. This section here, this is more so if you're asked this question, this is an example of how I want you to respond, right? Context and example responses. Where are you located? We're located at blah, 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 blah. Now, if you're going to use a knowledge base or a prompt to practice creating these, please let it know that it is for practice and it should not be a real location. 9 times out of 10 it should know that anyway, but just a bit of CYA, cover yo. And do you offer personal training? Yes, we have multiple personal training options, including single sessions, etc. So that's an example of how we are wanting it to respond. Cool, pretty straightforward, eh? Right, let's get into this, eh? Now, like I said, I've used Agentive. For this, we're going to need two parts. We're going to need an Agentive account, real easy to sign up, get onto it, and an OpenAI account. That you will need the Pro version of. Sorry, 1 second. And I'll show you why when we get there, okay? So I've just gone Google. You like my mic? Sweet. Sometimes these take a little while, but what I'll do is I'll just get straight into creating a new agent. Oh, don't look at that stuff. I already have it here. What? Okay, let's delete that one. Moo. You know what? Start again. Functional force. You are a... Oh, actually, we can't do that without... Here we go. Okay. Let's see if we can reset this, eh? So we're coming into OpenAI platform. Now the reason we're in here is to get an API key. Whoa, what happened there? Is to get an API key. We need to allow it to use OpenAI or ChatGPT's LLM. Nope, not that one. My bad. API platform. Oh my gosh, it's all going sideways. But this is what happens when you become a business owner. Things happen, things go sideways. There's a problem, you sort it out. Beautiful. Look at that. You come across onto your profile, API keys. Now these are very super secretive. I'm going to create one called Functional Force API. Let's go accelerated projects. Permissions, create secret key. Oh, don't look at that. Sweet. So I've got that. Let's come across onto Agentive. I could easily show, I'm not going to do that. We're going to create this with you. Come So into settings, I believe it is. Yes, when you come onto here, yeah, that works, that's alright. You won't be charged any subscription fee. You will only be charged on any usage fee. That means the amount of messages or tokens that are used. Name Ascension AI, secondary OpenAI key. We're going to use functional force here. Now this is where you'd put in that super secret code key. Functional force 2.0. Now this is where I'll get that one. You are an online support chatbot. Yeah. GPT, we're going to keep it with GPT-4. As you kind of become more experienced, so the agent model is from the LLM that we're using. Right, beautiful. So we've got a new agent created. Welcome back. Just another example of business stuff happening to business people and business people sorting out business problems. The camera just fell down, that's all. Right, so Functional Force 2.0. This is the main homepage for Agentive once you've created your chatbot. Functional Force 2.0, you're an online support chatbot draft. Model is GPT 4.0. You can change that here if you like. This is where you'd put the prompt in. Now, for example, text or task description, example, notes, and some extra tips. Now these, once you start typing in, they disappear, so these are just behind the scenes. But what we're going to do is enable the knowledge base. A very key point here. Otherwise, it won't have anything to work off. Create new. What we're going to do is Functional Force 2.0 and normal API key. The same API key, I should say. Now this is where you can upload your files, max 5 files at a time. So you can put up quite a few. I'm not sure how many, it's the limit. But it supports PDF, text, Markdown, HTML, DocX, PPT, etc., etc., etc. Max of 15 megabytes each. Now what this means is I've got a PDF that I could put up, right? And you can put up to 5 at a time, 15 megabytes each, and you can put as many as you like on until the max limit. I'm not sure what that is. But let's say my gym has a promotion coming up, right? And I need to provide it for there's a month of May. I have a challenge for the month of May. I could come put into a text, say this promotion, this month, this is what you get, this is the challenge, etc. That chatbot now knows what that promotion is for the month of May. And when the month of May is over, delete it or update it for June. Anyway, that's cool. Or if you have a new staff member, you want some information about them on there that the chatbot would like to share, what trainer they are, where they went to uni, how long they've been in the industry, for example, etc., etc. And now here is the URL, right? This is where you upload your URL. Now, if you have a website, it can use the information from that website as your knowledge base. I haven't done that yet, to be completely transparent. I haven't done that, so I don't know what the usage of that would be, or if it visits it, most likely. Anyway, I'm going to go with what we know. I should ask around about that anyway. Oh, right. Don't worry about those top 3 photos. That was a bit of I saw a thing. Oh, wrong one. I saw a thing about a thing, and I was like, you know what? Let's try that. I was at Kling AI actually, and I was seeing how good their new video thing was. I've seen it all over. What am I saying? I've seen it all over like Instagram and stuff, and to be fair, it's not bad. It needs specific prompting though. Right, so knowledge base is attached. It's right there. I can create new. I can disconnect from that agent or this agent specifically, and all the information that will be sourced for this chatbot will be within that knowledge base is now attached, which is only this much. Keeping it basic, keeping it straightforward. If you want to make these, make them as well. And now the prompt. Now the prompt, I'm going to have to copy and paste on this. I hope I can. For some reason my PDF or my Adobe's just not happening today. But business problems. This is what we do. Yes. Here's a good one. I do have this in my notes, so I'll copy it from there. But here's a good point that I should bring up. If the user asks a question that's outside of the knowledge base, outside of the chatbot's knowledge base, there are ways you can provide it to answer. Sorry, I didn't catch that. Could you ask something about our gym, class schedule, or memberships? That's what I've asked this one to do. What else it says is I will keep that, or I'll email the manager to respond back to you. Now there's a bit more to that, but questions that's outside of the information of the business, it won't respond to it. It won't try to respond to it unless you kind of ask it within the prompt. The prompt is kind of the mold, the clay that you create it to be. There's a lot more we can go into regarding prompting. Right, how about this? Let's be a little bit sneaky tonight. That's going to save. What we'll do is we'll go to functional force 1.0 and we'll just use all of these. Yes, something did happen on that last one when I was making it, and I added it at the end. What I say, you should not show in the conversation or say in the conversation that you are obtaining the information from the knowledge base. You should respond as if you know the provided information directly. That's a good one. See, this is where trial and error comes in, right? You give it a go, you test it out. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, fix it, right? Or fix it. And that's where we as automation agency owners kind of specialize in. If you're a business owner and this stuff pops up, it may not go the way you hope it to go. And believe me, many of us that have made these, they do not go the way we plan it to go. We can prompt it to the end of the sun, and it still just will not. But that's where trial and error comes in, right? We give it a go, we try it out, we test it out. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Then we fix it. It's just that feedback loop. Right. Oh, I may have jumped the gun a bit here. I have published. We are live. We are live, team. Right. There was the third thing that I did want to mention on, and that is the tools. That is the other automations. What else can the chatbot do? Yeah, it can respond to users' queries and questions, but what else can it do? That is a whole realm on its own. To make simple chatbot, basic as is, prompting and the knowledge base is all you need, and even then, those can be broadened out so far. And I mean that in a positive way. This is probably one of the basic of basics. I'm going to put in the... Let's just see if this works, actually. Let's just see if this works. Let's send it a message. Oh no, I've become that guy. You know when you watch these people type and they're misspelling their letters? Hi there. Hi there. You can tell me where you are located. Keep it brief, keep it simple. Look at it. Located at Unit 14, Titan Business Park, Forge Avenue, Iron Hill. That actually sounds like a pretty cool address, to be fair. Easy to find with plenty of parking. Perfect. There a class available at 1 p.m. We know that there's no classes here. On Thursday. See what it says to something that we know is not in there. If it says yes, that's a problem. We need to fix it. It looks like there isn't a class scheduled at 1 p.m. on Thursday. Classes on Thursday include mobility and movement, which are held at 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 5 p.m., and 6 p.m. That's really good because that is within the knowledge base. Let's just confirm that. Oh, wrong one. Thursday, mobility and movement, 5656. Great. Um, who owns functional force? Good question. I don't think I asked this on the last one. I don't think I asked many. Tyrone and Maddie, two lifelong friends and former athletes who turned fitness coaches. Main. Now, when you're using Agentive like this, you can check out the usage, total tokens, prompt tokens, completion tokens, and this was 0.01 cents. Not bad at all. Now, because this is attached to OpenAI, let's see if this works. Should I train every day? Remember, this is a support agent or support chatbot for a gym. It's not in the knowledge base of how many times it should train. It's not in the knowledge base of how hard it should train or how many calories to consume or anything. So this is going to be a little bit extra, but I'm pretty sure I found from the last usage that may not be necessary or ideal for everyone. It's important to give your body time. Perfect. Now let's ask it a question that's completely not relevant. It's the just coming back to that, I'm almost certain that it's because of the API link to ChatGPT or OpenAI, which is overhanging of ChatGPT. I'm here to help with questions about our gym. Perfect, right? Doesn't have information about this, but due to this, sorry, once again. Trying to train every day. Something like this, quite a generic and basic question, can respond in a positive light, similar to as if you were to ask ChatGPT. Now, this is not ChatGPT. This is the LLM from ChatGPT, and the information on this. Oh, why can't I get it? It just it is it is through the API key, which we attached to it a little bit earlier. Now, if you were to, let's use an example, request the weather in Chicago, and you wanted to be able to provide that, then you can add on tools. Now, tools are a whole nother concept. Take a look at AI automations or other agents that are working with these tools. There's so much that they can do. For today, what we're going to do is we're going to keep it as is, okay? Knowledge base, prompting. I hope in some way, shape, this has helped. Now, before we do leave, I want to show you how you can use this on a website. What's happened? Revert to live. Yep. Because we tried to edit it. Now, if we're going to deploy this, this is where we would go, right? You have a website, quite standard, functional force. You're an online support chatbot. You can edit most of it here, if not all of it here. What we'll do, keep it maroon red. Fun fact, one of my favorite colors. We'll keep it as this. How can I help you today? Other ones. I'm not going to put one in. Membership options. Ed location. Take that out. Auto display widget on page load. Yep. Beautiful. Now what we'll do is we're not going to create this widget because we're not going to put it onto a website. But what we will do is we'll show you what it looks like as if it were on a website. Gorgeous. Now imagine this whole back end is another website, is the business website that you're either creating it for or the one that you've created it for. Just see that? One of these membership options. Now this is all in real time, by the way. So this is live. If I were to share this link, I'm pretty certain someone will be able to use this as well. Functional. Oop. Force begin. And it should go into the knowledge base, provide some takeaway from the how it started or how it was sourced. That doesn't make sense at all either. Functional force began in the dusty garage, blah 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 blah. Yes, we know that's in the knowledge base. We saw it for ourselves. Beautiful. Now, other integrations you can put on into WhatsApp, you can put onto an Instagram to respond via MeChat template. Same thing with Messenger, VoiceFlow, Telegram, Discord. These can go almost anywhere. And AI is moving so fast that it could pretty much be moved anywhere. It'll be at a point soon where it will respond for you as you on your iPhones, not just Apple Intelligence. That kind of looking top of that, AI personas. Anyway. That is how to make a basic online chatbots, online support chatbots using just the knowledge base and just the prompting. Do some research on prompting. Okay, prompting is very important. Knowledge base you can kind of source yourself and from the business owners, or if you are the business owners, there is a little bit of work for you to put forward, whether they're being made for you or if you're making it yourself. I hope that somehow helps, team. Drop a like, drop a follow, subscribe, whatever that jazz, but I hope in some way, shape or form I've provided some very helpful insight into how easy these are to make.